Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I'll be continuing the talk on Feng Shui. Today we will be learning about the Bagua. But before I do this, I wanted to let you know that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. When learning the principles of Feng Shui, I like to approach the subject as if the knowledge were placed on an ever-descending spiral that moves ever deeper into the understanding of Feng Shui. First, we explore what Qi is and the different types of Qi. Then we moved around the spiral of knowledge again at a deeper level and explored the concepts of Yin and Yang. And then we moved on to a discussion of the 5 elements and the 3 cycles and the 9 stars system, and your lucky stars, and the fortune of your door. And now we will move in a different direction and begin the study of the Bagua. The Bagua of the 8 aspirations. Feng Shui was made very popular in the Western world thanks to the Bagua of the 8 aspirations. Each trigram corresponds to an aspect of life, which, in its turn, corresponds to one of the cardinal directions. Applying Feng Shui using the Bagua of the 8 aspirations made it possible to simplify Feng Shui and to bring it within the reach of everybody. The masters of traditional Feng Shui call it Neo-Feng Shui for its simplicity, because it does not take into account the forms of the landscape or the temporal influence of the annual cycles. The Bagua of the 8 aspirations is divided into 2 branches. The first, which uses the compass and cardinal directions, and the second, which uses the Bagua by using the main door. It is clear that not taking into account the cardinal directions, the second is even more simpler. But for this course, we will be using the compass and cardinal directions form. A Bagua map is a tool used in modern forms of Feng Shui to map a room or location and see how the different sections correspond to different aspects of one's life. These sections relate to every area or aspect of life and are divided into such categories as fame, relationship, marriage, children, creativity, helpful people, travel, career, inner knowledge, family, ancestors, health, and wealth blessings. In this system, the map is intended to be used over the land, one's home, office, or desk, to find areas lacking good Qi, and to show where these are negative or missing spaces that may need rectifying or enhancing in life or their environment. The correspondence of the sections of the Bagua are used to invoke an understanding of the energies present within each of the sections by using imagery. As the saying goes, a picture or an image is worth 1,000 words. Here are some examples of a Feng Shui Bagua. In the first example, you see the more traditional octagon shape of the Bagua. At the top of the Bagua, you find the fame section, which corresponds to the element of fire, the compass direction of south, and the colors associated with it are red. The body part associated with this section is the eye. The trigram that is associated with this section is Li, which has a broken line between 2 solid lines, which means the clinging radiance. The image from nature associated with this section is fire. Its attributes are light-giving dependence, and in a family dynamic, it corresponds to the second daughter. The animal associated with this section is the pheasant. Going in a clockwise direction, we come to the next section of the Bagua, the marriage, mother, sister section. This section corresponds to the element of earth, and the compass direction is southwest, and the colors of this section are red, pink, and white. The body part associated with this section is the belly organs. The trigram that is associated with this section is Qun, which has 3 broken lines, which means the receptive field. The image from nature associated with this section is the earth. Its attributes are devoted and yielding, and in a family dynamic it corresponds to the mother. The animal associated with this section is the cow. Going in a clockwise direction, we come to the next section of the Bagua, children, the future, and lake. This section corresponds to the element of metal, and the compass direction is west, and the colors of this section are white. The body part associated with this section is the mouth. The trigram that is associated with this section is dwell, which has two solid lines with a broken line on top, which means the joy is open. The image from nature associated with this section is the lake and marsh. Its attributes are pleasure, and in a family dynamic it corresponds to the third daughter. The animal associated with this section is sheep and goats. Going in a clockwise direction again, we come next to the next Bagua, the section of the Bagua. Helpful people, friends, father, brother, and travel. This section corresponds to the element of metal, and the compass direction is northwest, and the colors of this section are white, gray, and black. The body part associated with this section is the head. The trigram that is associated with this section is Qian, which has three unbroken lines, which means the creative force. The image from nature associated with this section is heaven and the sky. Its attributes are strength, and the family dynamic it corresponds to is the father. The animal associated with this section is horse. Going in a clockwise direction, we come to the next section of the Bagua, which is at the bottom, career and foundation. This section corresponds to the element of water, and the compass direction is north, and the colors of this section are black. The body part associated with this section is the ear. The trigram that is associated with this section is Kan, which has an unbroken line sandwiched between two solid lines and means the abysmal gorge. The image from nature associated with this section is water. Its attributes are dangerous, and the family dynamic it corresponds to is the second son. The animal associated with this section is the pig. Going in a clockwise direction, we come to the next section of the Bagua, knowledge and cultivation. This section corresponds to the element of earth, and the compass direction is northeast, and the colors of this section are black, blue, and green. The body part associated with this section is the hand. The trigram that is associated with this section is Gen, which has a solid line at the top with two broken lines under it and means keeping still bound. The image from nature associated with this section is the mountain. Its attributes are resting, standing still, and the family dynamic it corresponds to is the third son. The animal associated with this section is the wolf or the dog. Going in a clockwise direction, we come to the next section of the Bagua, health, family, and thunder. This section corresponds to the element of wood, and the compass direction is east, and the colors of this section are green. The body part associated with this section is the foot. The trigram that is associated with this section is Gen, which is a solid line on the bottom and two broken lines over it and means the arousing shake. The image from nature associated with this section is thunder. Its attributes are inciting movement, and the family dynamic it corresponds to is the first son. The animal associated with this section is the dragon. Going in a clockwise direction, we come to the next and last section of the Bagua, wealth and wind. This section corresponds to the element of wood, and the compass direction is southeast, and the colors of this section are blue, purple, and red. The body part associated with this section is the thigh. The trigram that is associated with this section is Hisun, which has a broken line at the bottom topped by two solid lines, which means the gentle ground. The image from nature associated with this section is wind. Its attributes are penetrating, and the family dynamic it corresponds to is the first daughter. The animal associated with this section is the fowl. And here is another example of a traditional Bagua. And here is yet another example of a Bagua, this time in a square block formation. For many people, this is an easier Bagua to work with. So, in a nutshell, the Bagua is a map that is used to understand the chi of your home, office, land, desk, or whatever else you want to learn about. The different sections of the Bagua and their corresponding locations in your home or whatever relate to specific aspects of your life, such as marriage, wealth, health, and so forth. The conditions in these sections of your home indicate how the chi is flowing in that aspect of your life, and Feng Shui helps you to align these specific energies in the most harmonious way possible. All of this information on the Bagua may seem a little confusing at this point, but hang in there. In upcoming videos, I will go into this material in greater and greater detail until you understand it and how to use it effectively. I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.